138 men and 10 teenagers confessed to involvement in the assassination attempt before the Revolutionary Court in 1982, although it is not known of the circumstances in which these confessions were obtained, and those that confessed most likely faced violence and torture. It was not until July 23, 1984, or possibly 1985, reports differ, that Saddam's thirst for revenge was finally quenched, when he signed a decree ordering the execution of the 138 men who confessed. The 10 teenagers were eventually executed after they reached adulthood. It is not known how many were killed by Saddam's men during the destruction of the town of Dujail, but on record 148 residents were executed after the sham trials, and many others were tortured, imprisoned, and died in captivity. It was later revealed that 4 members of the same family, initially found innocent at trial, were mistakenly executed. A dark irony in the Dujail incident is that the Dawa party's failed assassination attempt that was intended to take Saddam's life would ultimately lead to his execution. Almost 20 years later, after Saddam's regime had collapsed and he was captured, he was tried for his crimes. This trial, however, was controversial as it took place while the Iraqi Prime Minister was a member of the Dawa party, a man that had been installed in power by the US government. The judge that presided over the sentencing of the trial, Raf Rashid Abd al-Rahman, who was a replacement for another judge that was originally put in charge, had reportedly been tortured by Saddam's regime in the 1980s, and may have had family members that were killed during Saddam's infamous attack on the Kurdish town of Halabja. During the trial, Saddam admitted to ordering the executions and the destruction of property in Dujail, but he maintained that his actions were justified. Where is the crime? Saddam asked the court. Is it a crime to deal with someone who tried to assassinate a head of state? However, his protests were ignored, and on the 5th of November 2006, Saddam Hussein was sentenced to death. Upon hearing the verdict, Saddam shouted, "Long live the people, long live the Arab nation, down with the spies, God is great."